The Cheetah Girls had an old nasty bridge on every song. They not even putting bridges on songs no more. If you're a black woman, honor the girls around you, honor the girl within you. And if you are not a black woman, find a black woman to love on this month. Find a black girl to pour into and continue to protect black girlhood. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Maya G, and you are tuned into another episode of Operating on High, a podcast all about conscious cannabis consumption and centering Black voices and culture within cannabis. So, y'all, I'm going to ask, how y'all doing? What level are you operating at? What is it giving? I'm gonna be honest, like today was a good day for me. So I am definitely operating on high, babes. I am operating on high. One, because let me go ahead and plug this flower again. Let me tell y'all something. I talked about this in the library episode, so I think that's episode 2. But Carpenter Farms, Penthouse Kush, baby. Always gonna do the biggest one for me. Okay. So that's still one of my top strains there. But yes, I'm operating on high because of that. And then also because I had my, regular dentist appointment and your girl still ain't got a cavity in her mouth. Period. Okay. Still no cavities. Like that's one of my biggest flexes though in life. Like I've never had a cavity. Okay. And I do still have all 4 of my wisdom teeth. Now y'all let me know. Do I need to let them go? Like they don't bother me at all. Like they just chilling in the back of my mouth. Okay. And I mean, my dentist did say like I could go do a consultation. But I mean, just from an orthodontist to take a look at them and everything. But I mean, the teeth is good. And then, they do the little gum situation. My hygienist, she was like, yeah, gum's looking good too. So get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Love that for me. Love that for me. And I mean, y'all see what I be doing. Okay. Yeah. And on top of that, on top of smoking all the time and not having cavities, I also have a very, very sweet tooth. A very sweet tooth. Okay. Deborah Janisha Jones, who y'all may know as Lil Debbie, stay in this house. Let me. I keeps a Lil Debbie on me, okay? So yeah, I am. Hold on, let me put this up. I am operating on high today because still no cavities. Still no cavities. Okay, period. So yeah, operating on high. And then 2, if you saw the pregame, you saw the music that I was jamming to. So I'm just like, I'm in a very, very good mood. The weather's getting warmer. The seasonal affective disorder is really just sinking off of your girl. So, but them allergies, that's the only thing that's going to try to, it's always something. It's always something, it's got to be something that's try to be the enemy of progress. And for me, it's pollen. Pollen is like, I barely go outside. That's how bad pollen is. Allergies are trying to hold me back, but I'm not going to let them. I'm not going to let them. And yeah, so when I was little, y'all, my allergies were terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Like I couldn't even, like my eyes would be swollen. I couldn't go outside, like on the playground when I was little. So that's why I feel like I'm doing my childhood over again with this because I don't be going outside. I don't get to have recess outside because of that pollen because it's going to take me out. Like the sneezing, my eyes get itchy, my throat get you do that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I don't like doing all of that. I really don't. And then your nose get dry because of the tissue. You're always wiping your nose. And yes, I do take allergy medicine. I do the eye drops. I do the nasal spray. I'm like, my goodness, y'all. I just be staying inside because I really don't want their problems. I really don't want their problems. And speaking of having allergies and girlhood, I was trying to have a good segue into today's topic, but I don't know if that was the best one. But so this episode will be dropping on the first Friday in April. And if you don't know, April is Black Women's History Month. Okay. Yeah. So I'm actually filming this on the last day of Women's History Month. But tomorrow begins the real celebration when we celebrate Black women. Okay. Because if you didn't know, it's always going to be Black women first on this here podcast. Okay. It's we always gonna put Black women on a pedestal. Absolutely. Absolutely. No shame in my game. No shame whatsoever. So yes. So with April being Black Women's History Month, I will be celebrating Black women by posting one Black woman each day throughout the month of April who has done amazing things within the cannabis industry. And we'll also be talking about people who have done things with advocacy and like prison reform. So I am very, very happy to be celebrating them. And because it's amazing what Black women have done. Okay. And that's, again, we center Black voices over here and especially Black women. So I'm happy to give all of the girls their flowers for the things that they have done with the flower. You see how that's kind of one thing about me. I love me a little double entendre sometimes, but anyways, okay. So yes, that will be happening throughout the month of April, and we will be having a lot of conversations in April around womanhood, girlhood, feminism. And so I know, child, if you're a man, be like, and you decide to take your headphones off, you can go ahead and go. That's fine. You can go ahead and go. But I think if you really love Black women, you'll tune in to the episodes to really just get an understanding of of just, centering our voices and just some of the things that have been affecting Black women. So I am very excited for the month of April. I know it's going to be a really good one. And of course, as you can see from the title of this episode, we are going into protecting Black girlhood because I think that is such an important topic. And honestly, I've been seeing a lot of conversation on social media around it too. So I think this is very like poignant in terms of the timing. And so I am very thankful. And of course, with protecting Black girlhood, the girlhood that I will be pulling from, of course, is my own girlhood, my own childhood. And I have to give a shout out to my parents. Like, they are so amazing because I think they really did a really good job of protecting me, like, and making sure that I was always just able to be a girl. Like, that was so important. And if y'all didn't know, my parents are subscribed to the podcast, and so they tune into the episodes. And so they saw the one that I did with my brother, and we have really had some really good conversations around some of the things that we've touched on. And one thing my mom said was that she really wanted to make sure that we were able to remain children. We did say like it was a strict household. I think her protecting me as a girl, and like my parents just in general, protecting me as a girl allows me to be the woman that I am today. And I'm so proud of the woman that I am. Like, I'm finna turn 30 in August this year. And it's kind of shocking to be like, oh my goodness, 30, but I know that 12-year-old me is gagged. Like, what are we talking about? She is like, girl, you have a show? Yeah, I definitely was a girly that wanted her own show, that wanted to have like build community. I remember growing up, I had a newsletter. I think I must have been like either middle school or like late elementary, maybe fifth grade. But I created like a newsletter for my friends, and we had to wear uniforms, and our uniforms were like really not cutesy at all. It was like a polo shirt, like a little collar shirt with the 3 buttons, and you could either do khaki or navy blue bottoms. And like that was it. There was no like we didn't have no plaid skirts. I mean, you could wear skirts or shorts or whatever, but it was like you could only do so much. It was pretty strict. And so I would like draw out different outfits for the girls to wear because, of course, I was reading 17 magazine. I'm reading M magazine. I'm reading J14, all of that. And so I'm pulling the information that I'm getting from the magazines. Okay. I'm also giving my ideas about like, okay, we got to wear uniforms. And of course, the fashion magazines aren't doing anything for the girlies that have to wear uniforms. So I was like, let me draw some things out. So I would start wearing like a full button down with a vest, or I had like a collared shirt and I would wear like a sweater over it, like that was navy blue, red, or white. And but like I was really trying to like do that thing. And then I love jewelry down. Okay. I am a jewelry girl through and through. So I would add like accessories and stuff. I remember I was wearing ties to school and the girls were like, what, a tie? Yeah. Tea. Okay. And so I was sharing that with my friends. And then I was writing like little like what is it like letters from the editor sort of thing, just like my thoughts of what's like going on during the week, like what's the gossip. It was so much fun, and I had my mama like at work making copies at her job so that way I could make sure I got them out to all of my friends. Like it was so that was so fun, and I want to do that again. And like all I feel like a lot of the dreams that I have had that I still have today are really just things that I have wanted since I was a little girl. Like I have always had like really big dreams, and like I feel like I'm really just like just now stepping into them. And so I'm so thankful for like that's why the topic of this podcast is protecting Black girlhood, because I feel I feel like I am evidence of what happens when you protect children. Like my parents, they were very thorough at making sure like they planned out their family. Like they got married. I'm not gonna say the year, child. I ain't gonna put their business out there. But they didn't have kids until like 5 years after they had gotten married. Like it wasn't. They were like, we gotta stack this money. We gotta make sure we got enough money to have these children. Yeah, so they did a great job planning our family, and I'm very grateful for that. So I couldn't watch MTV, VH1, or BET till I was like 14 or something like that. And then let me see what else. What else? Oh, the music. Okay, I didn't know Trina. Like my first girl group was the Cheetah Girls, because I really couldn't listen. It's not that I couldn't listen to Destiny's Child, but they weren't really playing all of the bangers that Destiny's Child had on Radio Disney, because it was Radio Disney, gospel music, or old school music. And so even though I was limited in what I could watch, I really am thankful for the Black girls that existed on television when I was growing up. Like Kiki Palmer, girl, Akila and the Bee. As a Black girl that was kind of like nerdy and did spelling bees and math Olympiad and all that stuff, I loved seeing Akila on that screen. I hate that she had to struggle, to be able to spell them words. But I was grateful that her character existed because it made me feel seen. I was like, okay, bet. And of course, we got Kyla Pratt. Like she was that girl, Penny from the Proud Family. Okay, and especially when I was growing up, I really kind of started to feel Penny, because I'm like, my parents are strict. I can't do no whole lot of this now. I'm grateful that I didn't have any younger siblings that I had to look after like Penny. But I understood her plight of just wanting to be a teenager. And so you're kind of like in the middle ground between like, you're not a girl anymore, but you're not grown. And so I was later in high school when I was watching One on One, because I'll be honest, we didn't watch a whole lot of UPN in the house either. I know the girls is gonna tag me, but hey, I didn't know. I wasn't aware. Like I didn't start watching shows that were on UPN until it was the CW. Yeah. Yeah. I know. But I love Half and Half now, okay? I'm on it. I'm on it now. But I wasn't really watching them growing up. Okay, so that was One on One, Kyla Pratt. Now, the girl who was really that girl for me growing up was truly Raven Simone. Okay. Raven, I mean, we all know that if Disney had a Mount Rushmore, Raven's face is on it. Honestly, it could be Raven across the whole thing. Just Raven, just different. Raven Baxter when she was Galleria. When she what's the black girl on Kim Possible when she did the voice for her? Yeah. And then her just as an artist too. Okay. She was like, what's that song? I wanna do a backflip cartwheel. She, she was carrying Disney on her back. Okay. And so Raven Baxter, fashionista, funny girl. And I was like, that's me through and through. Like, just because I definitely wanted to be a fashion designer. So I love that she was sewing. Like, that's why I wanted to start taking sewing classes. That's why I have a sewing machine now, because I'm living out my girlhood dreams and wanting to learn how to sew, maybe make a few pieces here and there, just little dibbles and dabbles. I have lots of things that I want to do in my life. And I think I have those big dreams, and I feel that I can reach all of them because I was able to be a girl. Like, I was able to truly just exist as a kid. I am very grateful that I was really just able to be a girl, because all the dreams that I had as a girl, I'm going to make a reality as a woman. What? Yeah. Yeah. And okay. And it is also because I had there was visibility on television for girls like me. And I think they also and I think what was also important too, it's like I'm glad that they were also of age. Like, they were age appropriate characters, because I'm like, who do the girls have now to look up to? Because I feel like they're looking up to the girlies that are like grown or like adults. And I'm like, I don't. And I mean, I know that Raven was technically an adult, but her being able to play younger characters and be a role model in that way, I think was important. And I know that costed, and I know that cost our black young girls a lot to have to grow up as child stars. And I think it's so crazy that, like, when you hear about the things that Kiki Palmer has talked about, like growing up and being a child actress, and the same thing for Raven, what she was saying about how they talked about her weight all the time. And it's like, I'm grateful for them, because I know that they had to give up their childhood so that I could have one. And that's so crazy to think about, like, to know that they didn't really get to be kids because they were having to be business people. They were having to be breadwinners for their family. And I was just watching them like, oh my gosh, like, I could be I can be like a quirky black girl. Like, I can be just myself and just outspoken, have a personality. And she made me feel so seen. And but to know that, there were things going on behind the scenes, it's crazy. It's crazy. But Raven, my goodness, girl, every character that you played, absolutely phenomenal. And I will probably be spending the bulk of this conversation talking about the Cheetah Girls. Because when I tell you that the Cheetah Girls is and let me also, I will be getting into a deep dive here, but I just want you to know that I'm not diving in on Cheetah Girls 3. I am not, because when you lost Raven, you lost me. Okay, okay, I wanted to make sure everybody knew where we stood, because it's one or two or nothing. Yeah. Uh if Cheetah Girls 3 is your favorite movie, very telling. Very telling. But that's all I'll say there. Because no, actually, I will go into it, just a small deep dive, because I watched it maybe once or twice. But them girls went to, I can't remember the country they was in, but they went over there and lost their minds again. And all of them was following up behind the man this time. And you lost me. Y'all fighting over a man, and that's why Raven wasn't in that one, because there is no way the plot line would have been that. And Galleria is still in the Cheetah Girls. Oh, please, yeah. it actually it truly made sense for her character and also for that time in her life, because I think I can't remember exactly why she said she wasn't on Cheetah Girls 3. Um what was it again? I know her and Keely was beefed out. I know her and Keely was beefed out real bad, and the problem was Keely, from what I'm hearing in the streets, and you already know whose side I'm on. So, but so yeah, for that time in her life, and for who her character, who Galleria Garibaldi was, it made complete sense that she wasn't in that third movie. Because did we not just go across to Barcelona and y'all forgot what the mission was? Y'all got bigger than the program, and you doing it behind a man? Yeah. Yeah. It's telling if you like Cheetah Girls 3. Um no shame. So now I'm going back over to the real ones, Cheetah Girls 1 and 2. Let's start with the plot of each one. These movies really went in depth on friendship, like really being a friend, okay? And how it's not always convenient, and how it's working together, being in community really makes you even better. Okay? Like if you love Cheetah Girls 1 and 2, I know that you run a very strict program, especially if whenever you and your friends said, okay, which Cheetah Girl are you going to be? And you were always Galleria, strict program. I know it. You don't even have to tell me, girl. I know you run a strict program. I also know that you truly value friendship, okay, in every form. And you know that it's not convenient and it takes sacrifice. And the third thing, of course, you're a baddie. Because what? Baddie. I already know it. You don't even have to tell me. If you're like, yeah, I really fuck with Cheetah Girls 1 and 2, baddie, okay? And I don't even have to see what you look like. I know it. I know. Mm-hmm. I know it's T when you see two fingers. Okay. So yeah, I know you're a baddie. I know you're T, because I know that you probably internalized the music. I know that you probably internalized the music. And from the very beginning, they were talking about community. Together we can. Now, I kind of listened to the lyrics today, and it could be about a man or it could be about your friends. We're gonna focus on friendship, okay? Because if Galleria Garibaldi was there, they were talking about friendship, okay? They said together we can shoot the moon, stop the rain, even ride a hurricane. And you think we oughta. It was it was ingrained in the lyrics. And I mean, when we look at Cheetah Sisters, the song that everybody gonna go to when you think of Cheetah Girls, we're Cheetah Girls with Cheetah Sisters. And so the words say, okay, we are sisters. We stand together. We make each other strong, and that ain't never gonna change. And then at the beginning, they said, there's a time when we all choose to either quit or follow through. They said, for sure, your back's going to be up against the wall at some point. And then they said, you got to use your faith and trust your heart to lead you through the dark. And sometimes when you're in that dark place, sometimes you get lonely. So you know what they said right after? They said, we might get lonely, but we're not alone. Community. There we go. So that's another thing I know. I know that if you really love Cheetah Girls 1 and 2, you value community. You value community. And I really respect that for sure. I respect that. And so now let's get into my favorite track from the movie. I don't want to be like Cinderella, sitting in a dark, cold, dusty cellar waiting for somebody to come and set me free. And then they said, I don't want to be like someone waiting for a handsome prince to come and save me. On my own, I will survive. Unless somebody's on my side, I don't want to need no one else. I'd rather rescue myself. Self-preservation. That's the world is trying to tell you not to trust yourself, and the Cheetah Girls was telling you from Girlhood. You got you too. Okay? So it's like, okay, if you got to go through something, you do have it in yourself, and but you also have your community. That's important messaging. Are they saying that to the children today? Huh? You tell me. And then we can't forget about girl power either. I might as well go through the whole track list. No, but girl power, 8 down. Again, let me tell you something. The Cheetah Girls didn't shy away from telling you that life gonna get tough, but you got it, and your friends can help you. If you stick with your people, if you got community, they got your back too. Because what they say in girl power, sometimes life may get you down, but you better hold your ground. Because can't nobody live your life but you. Stay true to who you are and always follow your heart, your heart, your heart. Like that. And let me tell you, that right there, that piece that I just sang, a bridge. The Cheetah Girls had an old nasty bridge on every song. On Cinderella, I can slay my own dragon. I can dream my own dreams. My knight and shining armor is me. So I'm gonna set me free. That was on that bridge. They not even putting bridges on songs no more. The Cheetah Girls had an old nasty bridge on a song every time, and it ate down. Especially in that first movie. Especially in that first movie. Child. Okay, so then that's the first movie. Now I'll get into the plot just quickly, okay? Galleria was getting a little ahead of herself. I will say that. But it was all about communication amongst everybody. They needed to learn how to talk to each other, and that's what that movie was about. You got to learn how to communicate. Everybody communicates differently. Everybody's personalities are different. Our spots are different, but we wear the same colors. They weren't listening good. They weren't listening. I need you to go back and truly just listen to every track, Cheetah Girls 1 and 2. If you're like, I really want to be a girl's girl, you need to go and watch Cheetah Girls 1 and 2. You really need to internalize the songs that they were singing. Because again, another thing about the baddies who watch Cheetah Girls 1 and 2, I know that you're a girl's girl. I know it. You're a girl's girl. I know. Especially if you really internalize it, okay? And then we got my favorite Cheetah Girl movie, Cheetah Girls 2. Okay? Let me see what's the first track that they had on that song. They came in swinging. The party just begun. That's actually, I'm finna put that on the pregame playlist because the harmonies on there, the way they came out dancing, And again, another nasty bridge. Chill it out, break it down. That's the way we do it now. Attitude in the mood, getting into something new. Say goodbye to yesterday, future looking good to me. All together, raising and time to party, time to dance. Like another nasty bridge with some fire lyrics. Like, ooh, my. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to pull up the track list for Cheetah Girls too, because I can't miss not not one. I can't miss one. Cause the here we go. Cause I had to put the iPad down as soon as I seen the next song on the list. Strut. Like, I feel like Cheetah Girls 2. Okay, I feel like Cheetah Girls 1, it was definitely a lot of yes, girl power, you got this, we are a community. In Cheetah Girls 2, that's when they were like, okay, we're confident, we're talking our shit. Because the party just begun, bad bitch pregame song. Strut is just a bad bitch song, period. Okay? You gotta strut like you mean it. Free your mind. But then they still put the message in the baddie song. Because they said it's not enough just to dream it. You gotta put your foot to, you gotta pound the pavement and kick it through the streets. My girlhood. Girlhood. Okay? Girlhood. Like that's, yeah. Yeah. And I know they, and then it was also hyping up Barcelona. Like, girl, I got, do you know I had never heard of Barcelona until the Cheetah Girls too? And I'm like, I gotta get out there to the Sagrada Familia. Okay? Got to get out there. Okay, so Death Strut. Okay, what's the next song? Okay, this is, let me go. I'm gonna take a quick turn over back to Cheetah Girls 1. And I'm also gonna put a disclaimer too. Did y'all know that all the Cheetah Girls were supposed to be black girls? See, because I didn't have the Cheetah Girls books growing up. I actually might go and read them. I think I'll do that just for fun. I'm gonna make that my goal this month. I'm gonna read the Cheetah Girls series this month for Black Women's History Month, because that is Black Women's History, because again, all of the original Cheetah Girls were indeed black girls. Um and so Dorinda's character was always just, yeah. I don't know if I'm black, I'm white, I'm white. You're white, baby. You're white. But Dorinda, baby, you did your biggest one on Dance With Me. That dance break, that sha 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 sha. I mean, that was such a good song, a good dance break. Drew Seeley ate down on them. Follow me into my world, and that was a little kind of like ballad too. Like the Cheetah Girls 2 was a really well blended mix of music, because yeah, Dance With Me, yeah. And then that Ananita, I can't, yeah, okay, because I'm trying to be talking about girl power, but girl, I'll go through this whole thing. One of the a very very important song in Cheetah Girls 2 is "It's Over." Lyrically, let's talk about the lyrics. I feel like "It's Over" really gets into what a friendship breakup feels like, because there are a lot of like love songs and like breakup songs for couples, but like romantic couples, but friends. You ever lost a friend? If you haven't, girl, that's great. But if you have, that's what "It's Over" feels like. Cause what do you mean we're not friends anymore? Like that. And that's why again, the Cheetah Girls is so important, because it talks about the ups and downs of being a girl, of being a woman. So good. And outside of the lyrics, Raven, the way she sang on that song, please don't let it be over. I mean, she put her heart on that track. And as I'm thinking about it and talking about it, I bet you It's Over was, I bet when Raven sang that song, she knew it's because this was going to be her last go round with them Cheetah Girls. I gotta know. I got to know. If I could interview anybody, it would be Raven. It would be Raven. Wow, is that why she said that? Is that why she was going so hard on that one? Girl, don't do that. Don't do that to me. Okay, and then Step Up. Again, that's when that song brings back, like, going from It's Over, You're Broken Hearted to Step Up. That's like together baddies music right there. Each one of us is superstars. Again, another old nasty bridge. Never gonna stop till we reach the top. Never gonna stop. Never gonna stop till we reach the top. Ooh, 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 yeah, step up. It's time to work it. Gotta do it for real. Right here together. It's time to step up. Dang it. I'm disappointed in myself. I don't know the words. But no. That was a really good, like, together we are the baddest as a unit. Because they were in that plot, y'all know they was really messed up in that head. Again, Dorinda, great dance break, but you losing it behind a man, and then Dorinda was a little too ditzy for me. I think that's why I really didn't like her character. Because you mad that the man didn't push I don't want to get too hard. I don't want to go too hard on that because we're on a good trajectory talking about girlhood. Yes. But and then Keely plot line was iffy anyway. I'm sorry. Aqua's plot line was still shaky to me. And of course Chanel. Now, let me give Chanel 2 seconds. I understand where her mindset was coming from. Okay? You got to think about it. She's a girl in school. Her mom, male-centered. Okay, let's get that out of the way. She flaked on her daughter to go be with a man. You got her going across the country so you might get proposed to by a man. Now, I'm glad the opportunity opened up for them to be able to go and be able to sing at the Voices competition. But you gallivanting and then you finna move her whole life to Barcelona, potentially, behind a man. When that man got money and he could come over here. Okay. Her mama was male centered. So that was a problem. And then also too, what else was going on? So then that's why, okay, so since her mother was male centered, I feel like she had a mother wound. So that's why she was trying to cling on to old girl mama. Lord, I can't remember her name right now. She had a good song in there too. She did. So that's why she was clinging on to her mother. And then of course, she was kind of going through it a little bit with her friends, so that's why she got cool with the, what is that girl's name? That's gonna eat me up that I don't know it. I'm gonna just have to watch the Cheetah Girls tonight, I guess. Pull my leg. Probably the 15th time this year I've watched it. But yeah, I'm gonna have, no, not 15th time this year. I haven't watched the Cheetah Girls this year. That's sad. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Cheetah Girls too. Maybe 1 and 2. Anyways, let me not get off here. But the girls had lost it. So then they had to bring it back together and stuff. They had to come hard. They had to say, we are a unit together. We're better together because we lost the plot when we was separating from each other. And Galleria was trying to tell us to get back on our P's and Q's, but we didn't want to hear it. Because we was all going through our own things. You got to go your own way. If you never watched the movie, you could hear the movie in the soundtrack. That I love a soundtrack like that. I love a soundtrack like that. And of course we gotta get to Amigas Cheetahs. Friends for life. The rhythm in each other, that's what keeps us tight. The frequency that we have amongst each other as a friendship is what keeps us together. It's what keeps us tight. We are bonded by that. Living the dream. Don't you want to live the dream with your friends? Because nothing's ever going to come between amigas. And I mean, they had a nasty bridge in there too when they had that Spanish. I ain't even gonna try to start saying the lyrics. I know I'm gonna mess that up. I'm gonna mess that up, so I ain't even gonna do that. But the through line of all of that, and the reason why I talk so much about the Cheetah Girls for probably half this episode, is because I've also recently seen a lot of conversation about how women are giving each other their flowers, how girlhood is so important, how womanhood is so important. Again, especially coming out of Women's History Month into Black Women's History Month, I have loved seeing like old videos of Whitney Houston. She was always hyping the girls up. Like literally always giving them. If you ever see Whitney out in the crowd, because what's that one meme where she was pointing, or what's the Rennie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, where she was just whoever she was, whoever she was on stage, and she said, "You better lay low." But she made sure she had a fat entourage with her. She gave her people their flowers. I feel like Whitney really was a girl's girl. And you want to know who produced Cheetah Girls 1 and 2? Whitney Houston. That was the through line of this whole conversation. Whitney Houston and protecting girlhood, because she gave the girls their flowers. And that is why this month, during Black Women's History Month, we will be giving Black women their flowers. And always shout out to Whitney Houston, because we have the same birthday. So I just always feel that I have to give Whitney her things. One of these days, all right, friends, put this on your list, probably for next year for my birthday. We're going to do a Whitney Houston themed birthday party. Okay. We're probably going to go out at night and everybody's got to be a different Whitney. Yes. Yes. That's what we shall do. Get your minds right. I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know when it's going to happen, but that's what we're going to do. Because yes, me and Whitney have the same birthday and I love Whitney Houston down. Okay. A girl's girl. And it showed in how she produced for the Cheetah Girls, and of course how she did for Waiting to Exhale. The movie, Whitney Whitney. Girl, it really just hit me that when I think about my favorite movies around friendship, Whitney had a hand in them. Because Waiting to Exhale, and to know that Whitney produced that entire album, and she had a full like a Black woman lineup on that whole soundtrack, and Waiting to Exhale has a fire soundtrack. We need that, y'all. We need more music around like friendship. We need that. Like baddie music, I completely get, but I need y'all take whatever you can. Take the blueprint from Whitney on Waiting to Exhale and the Cheetah Girls, and somebody make some music around that. That's what I need right now. That's what I need this summer to sound like, because girl, yeah, we can't we need to be focused on the girls. Let's focus on the girls and being friends and being baddies together. Okay? This Black Women's History Month and beyond. Protect the Black girlhood. If you are a parent of a Black girl, an auntie, whoever, protect that Black girl with everything that you have. Because as a protected Black girl who is now a Black woman, adulthood was the worst hood I've ever been in. Is the worst hood I've ever been in. I miss girlhood so much, because what do you mean bills? What do you mean I can't keep like Yeah, what do you mean I have bills that I have to pay for? What is insurance? What is Why does the rent always go up every year? Why do the groceries go up? Why do I have to keep putting gas in the car? Why are these jobs just letting black women go? Why are they not keeping us? It really, adulthood is very jarring. It really is. And I think how we really stay close to girlhood as women, well, how we stay close to womanhood is really honoring our girlhood. So this month, I hope you make that your mission to, if you're a black woman, honor the girls around you, honor the girl within you. And if you are not a black woman, find a black woman to love on this month. Find a black girl to pour into and continue to protect black girlhood. Thank y'all so much. This was such a fun episode. I really went off the dome. Can you tell? It was so many tangents, but I had so much fun just even thinking about this episode. And I hope that it really hits the right audience. And I thank y'all so much for just tuning into like the love that I have been getting on these episodes. I don't even know what episode this is. This is episode 6. Yeah, this will be episode 6. And so like the love that I've gotten on these first 5 episodes, thank y'all so much. I know it's not like a huge ton of us, but I didn't need a big community. I just needed an engaged community of people that really support this mission, this podcast, all of it. And so I thank y'all so much. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with the people. Only share it with cool people because I don't need no weirdos around here. But anyways, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day and stay dope.